Hello, and welcome to our 5-week learning adventure. Um, I'm Dwight. I'm going to be your instructor in this course, CSS 3210, SQL. Going to learn all about this particular scripting language, structure, query language, SQL. Um, Basically, here at Miller Mart, we try and structure our courses to be a great learning experience. So what I'd like to do now is just review a couple things, show you a couple things, talk about the overall kind of gist of the course, and essentially review starting with Learning Unit 1. You probably already know this, but the course consists of 5 learning units, 1 learning unit per week. Um, I will say that it looks pretty daunting as far as the amount of work, but it really isn't. I suggest digging right in, opening up as you saw in my first little image here. This is the main page. You want to go into the welcome, take a look at the announcements. There's going to be some interesting information housed in the announcement, so please do that. And as you see, basically navigation is pretty simple in Canvas, our learning management system. All right, learning units. So 5 learning units covering SQL. SQL is very, very important. This is the core level for managing and communicating with data in a database, relational database system. And just in case you're wondering, the RDBMSs they've been around a long time, those types of database systems, and they're still prevalent in the database world. Things such as machine learning, AI, all of that at the core uses something that has to do with SQL, believe it or not. All right, so quickly, just a review of the overall structure. You probably know this. Each learning unit has a discussion question. I'm going to dig right into the first discussion question. Basically, you will be, tasked to do the reading for each of the learning units. It's very important. It contains most of the material you'll need to both answer or respond to the discussion question and go through the homework. And I'll point that out here in a minute. So our first DQ is describing the relationship between databases, SQL servers, tables, and SQL client. Yes, I refer to SQL as SQL. That is a required pronunciation, or another alternate pronunciation. It's not required, excuse me. But you can use both, either SQL or SQL. Then research at least 2 different SQL client software programs available for writing queries. So I'm going to show you one. I have a couple on my system here. I use Microsoft SQL Server. You can research that one. And I also use the Oracle SQL Developer. So you have your own homework environment. I'm going to run through a couple of things, just very basic as far as queries, and to let you know that in my past experience as a database administrator, I've built database schemas, and you'll learn that term, basically the structure of and the communication levels of the database. All right, so let's continue here. I'm going to navigate back to the home page and back into the learning units. And I do want to show you, before I give you my little example, our homework or our working environment is hosted by U-Certify. Very, very, robust way to learn a lot of the material. Now, because I'm creating this video before, and everything should be integrated, but you may run into a scenario where there's not integration. I'll show you how to resolve that. But within the U-Certify environment, there's always a ton of resources. All of these nice little videos, and I will be reviewing them throughout our course, and they're nice little short videos that you can watch. This one goes into starting SQL Server, which is going to be your environment, SQL Server 2012. A little old, but it's still applicable. So I would not dismiss it. And basically, these will walk you through how to start the environment. I won't play the complete video, but just to let you know, those are always very useful. Um, and we go back into the assignment portal. It is a little clunky, but it's very useful. So I was in the video tab. There are tons of videos. Please, you don't, there's no shortage of resources. And then you have these labs. And basically, when you watch the video, it'll take you to the lab. It'll give you all the instructions. There's some of the videos included right in the lab. And basically, you need to walk through, follow the instructions and walk through what the exercises that are pointed out. These labs are very, very, very good to learn this particular scripting language. So you notice I clicked on the button that basically takes you into the assignment. It gives you an estimated time. But generally, if you walk through, do all the reading, yes, it did say lab, but within the lab, there's plenty of information about how databases are set up, what's the server client association and connection. So please don't do what I'm doing. Don't skim through these. It gives you all the information that you need to get through the assignments. So I do want to tell you, this is probably the best way to learn. It may be overwhelming, but it is the best way to learn. And you can navigate, as you see, there's several pages. You can navigate back and forth. You can always go back. You can see essentially a list of all the requirements for the lesson. And then this basically has an access to other videos, tons and tons of resources. Each has a quiz that you have to complete, and then the actual labs. I'm just going to go quickly. And this is all basically everything you need for the whole week. As you see, the status of them are untried. Once again, back to, so there's several ways to get to and from the information that you need to complete the labs, to complete each of the exercises in the learning unit. Once again, several ways to navigate throughout the system, and I do recommend, now to get actually into the lab, I do want to show you this little Win 10. This is your Windows 10 lab. It's kind of like a virtual machine if you have an idea of what that is. Basically, you're actually launching a Windows system within the browser. And if you walk through, for example, starting the SQL Server, and actually we have 2014 here, and connecting to it, etc. But once again, the instructions as to what you need to do in the lab are in here in this right panel. And just please follow, read the directions, and you'll be fine. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always contact me. So I'm going to close some of these tabs. We're going to get back into the main Canvas page. And I'm going to go back to home. So that was all Learning Unit 1. And just since those labs are very, very distinct, very interesting, I'm going to show you something that I have access to at another institution, just to give you an example. This is the Oracle version of SQL Developer. And I'm just going to give you kind of just a brief heads up. And I have a test database in here that simulates a regular company. And you won't, I'll say again, you're not going to have access to this. This is kind of a cloud service that I'm using to train it, another group of students. But I can use this as an example to show you how powerful SQL is. So this is a query builder environment. So I'm just going to run one of your basic queries, and it's a select query. A select query is used to basically select data from your tables, and you'll learn about tables, excuse me, entities, and all the structure of a relational database system. So I'm going to use what I call the wildcard star from, and basically I know that there's an employees table here. And so just to give you an idea of the basic syntax of a very, very rudimentary query. So you see if I run this, it returns all of the data in this very abbreviated table that we have. And you'll get to see all of this in your SQL Server environment. It's very similar, but I just wanted to show you that right quick. So that's kind of a quick overview and an introduction to SQL. Once again, this course will challenge you because of the amount of work, but once you get started, SQL is a very good scripting language to learn as far as connecting the database, but it does require quite a bit of repetition. It took me a while, a few years ago, to go through these queries, to understand how to connect, how to view, how to create reports, etc. And you're going to learn all about that. So welcome to our course on SQL. Thank you. And this is my first overview. I'll have one for you each week, and we will continue to learn all about SQL. And thank you.